So, we're less than a year away from the highly anticipated new generation of consoles, which consists of the PlayStation 5 and Microsoft's new console, the Xbox or Xbox Series X, which is going to be a series of different consoles, essentially. You're going to have a cheaper, less powerful version that's going to come out. You're going to have a more powerful version like the Xbox One X, similar to that, how that was an upgrade from the original Xbox One. And you're also going to have the Xbox One X itself be a part of the Series X of consoles. So if you own an Xbox One X, you're in the next generation of consoles already. But me personally, I also own an Xbox Series X. It's called a gaming PC. You see, what Microsoft has been trying to do in recent years is to try to merge their PC and console gaming divisions into one. So essentially, if you own a Windows PC, you already have the Xbox experience. Don't expect the Windows game bar and all these different features of that we've seen lately from Microsoft on Windows as gaming features to be any different from what we're going to see with the Xbox Series X of consoles. From the interface to everything, it's all going to be integrated, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Xbox Series X ran a version of Windows on it that was very similar to that of a Windows 10 PC. Who even know? Maybe it essentially is a Windows 10 PC. You see, the thing is that there is no real way to distinguish between an Xbox console and the Xbox experience on PC. All the games are going to come on PC. They're even developing technology that allows you to play Xbox One discs on a Windows PC with a Blu-ray player, so that all your discs will be able to run on a Windows PC. Kind of similar to how you can run 360 games on the Xbox One. They got like a software emulation thing going on, so they're going to have some type of software that will allow you to be able to play your Xbox One games and potentially Series X games, whatever, on your PC. So there essentially is going to be no difference between the PC and console division of Microsoft and Xbox. So I already own an Xbox Series X. It's called an RTX 2060, and I'm sure it's going to be more powerful than a lot of the Series X consoles that Microsoft's going to come out with. I'm sure Project Lockhart, which is supposed to be the less powerful version, my PC can easily outperform that. As far as the Xbox One X is concerned, within a couple of years, games are not going to run properly. I mean, we're talking about a console that can't run PUBG 60 frames per second, and the most powerful console that can't even do that. So I'm very skeptical about how this whole thing is going to work, this cross-generational experiment, where Microsoft's essentially doing away with console generations. They're essentially doing away with all of the quality standards that consoles are supposed to have, where everybody who has a console, like, for example, if you have a PlayStation 4, everyone who has a PlayStation 4 is on an equal playing field and has the same experience. And yeah, PC gaming is superior to console, obviously. However, the thing is that there is a separate market for people who want to play on console and people who want to play on PC. Trying to merge that together, I don't think is going to work out so well. Cross-platform is one thing, okay? But just the overall gameplay experience that certain people, if they buy the more expensive consoles, are going to have different experiences. Yeah, that's something that we come to expect on PC, but with Microsoft trying to make their console essentially more like a PC in terms of the various different options in how you play games, like, do you want the cheaper option? Do you want to put more money down so you get a more powerful experience? This is not going to work out for them, and I know I keep bitching and complaining about the Xbox Series X lately, but the thing is, you know, I'm a Sony fanboy, and I just want Microsoft to fail. Here's the thing, I'm already benefiting from what Microsoft is doing, because this means that I do not have to go out and buy another console in addition to the PlayStation 5 if I want to play all of the quote-unquote exclusives, even though Xbox doesn't have exclusives, really. Exclusive means it's only on one platform, but yeah, you could say Xbox, like I've been saying, PC and console is the same platform on Xbox, so technically it's a Microsoft exclusive, even though they're putting the games on Steam. So Valve isn't on it, and it's a weird thing going on. Yeah, it's a mess. Microsoft is a total mess. I don't know what the hell they're doing, what the hell they're thinking. But I can already tell what the fanboys are gonna say 5-6 years from now, or not even that long, 2-3 years from now, when it's pretty obvious that Sony has dominated Microsoft in the next generation, and that there is no hope for Microsoft to even catch up to Sony. They're going to say, well, wait, PC is the same as a console. If you have a Windows PC, you have an Xbox. So that means that people who have PCs, all the people who have a gaming PC, plus all the people who bought an Xbox Series X, it'll be like a much bigger number than people who bought a PlayStation 5. So your crap gamers, your Colt Eastwoods, all these jerk-offs online are going to be like, Microsoft won this generation. Oh, man. So if you think fake news is a real problem in the gaming community these days with these fanboys, ooh, next generation, because it's going to be more ambiguous. So they're going to say, well, I'm not being completely dishonest. I'm not lying. Technically, there's that gray area where, the console and the PC experience, is more hard to distinguish. So, yeah, I mean, you can call me a Sony fanboy, but it's just a fact. And I'm a PC guy. I've been playing PC for the past couple of years now, and I've been a console gamer most of my life, but I'm really starting to get into PC again. I took a little break from it because of the whole download issue with my crappy internet. But I can't help but come back to it because it's just such a better experience than anything a console has to offer. And I'm sure that's going to be a lot better next generation with the 60 frames per second and all that. But as of right now, gaming on a PC is really the best way for me. I mean, when I go back to a console and I'm playing shooting games in 30 frames per second, I just want to hang myself, honestly. But I already own an Xbox Series X. It's called the gaming PC. So most of my subscribers own an Xbox Series X then, because most of my subscribers are PC gamers. So we're good. I mean, everyone watching my video, we're all good with this. Like, we benefit from this completely because we get all the games, right? I mean, we obviously don't get the PlayStation games yet unless you want to talk about PlayStation Now. But, I mean, to be fair, I mean, you got a lot of PC gamers saying that, oh, we could play PlayStation games now. Come on, guys. Like, PlayStation Now is shit. Game streaming is shit. Please don't equate that to playing the real deal, like, natively on the system. No. Okay, anyway, that's just a separate tangent that I have. Maybe we'll talk about that more in the future. But we're good. We got the whole experience. We get to play Xbox Live while you fools on the console have to pay $60 a year for the privilege of playing your games online on a console, when we literally have the same exact online infrastructure. Xbox Live, we have gamer tags, we have party chat, we have all of those features that we get for free. Playing games, online multiplayer, free. On Xbox Live. Never mind Steam. Never mind whatever, PC gaming. No. On Xbox Live servers, if you want to play a game with Minecraft or something, which uses Xbox Live, you do not have to pay a cent online. So Microsoft is going to have to do this too. They're going to have to get rid of Xbox Live Gold if anyone wants to buy their console, or at least take off the requirement of paying to play online, because PC gamers will outright refuse. PC gamers are never going to pay a premium to play games online. It's just never going to happen. They tried that with Games for Windows Live. It blew up in their face. And now they're trying to do this whole thing. And, it is what it is. But if you're a console gamer, the next 5 or 6 years of video games, it's gonna be the dark ages for you, right? Because if you do not own a gaming PC, and you might as well get one at that point, but still, if it's unattainable for you, if you just can't fork over that money, because no matter what PC gamers say, and I will be fair about this, PC gamers are wrong when they say that PC gaming is cheaper to access than console. So yeah, when you have the $60 a year thing, if you crunch the numbers and you add up over time, yeah, that's true. But as far as outright expenses, like paying $400 for a new console versus building a PC, you cannot build a genuine gaming PC for $400, because it makes sense, because consoles sell at a loss. So you can't expect it to cost exactly the same even if you buy all the parts on your own and don't, get a pre-built PC, it's still more expensive outright to get a gaming PC, to build one or to acquire one, however you want, than to get a new console. My new graphics card cost me over $400, which is more than a new console, and it's not even like one of the higher end graphics cards. It's an RTX 2060 S. You know what I mean? So yeah, PC gaming, like if you want to have that real high fidelity gaming experience, you're gonna have to spend quite a bit of money, like $1,000 and up, to really get the real PC experience. So yeah, I mean, to a lot of people, PC gaming is not accessible. So when you only have one guy in the market, which is Sony, it's not going to be, console gamers are going to have a hard time, because Sony is going to pretty much dominate the entire console spectrum of the gaming industry. They're going to pretty much essentially have a monopoly, because I mean, I've talked about this before, but Nintendo is not competing directly with Sony. They're kind of doing their own thing with the hybrid console, with the Switch. It's like half handheld and it's half home console. And graphically speaking, realistically, the Switch can't even compete with the PS4. Graphically speaking, how is it going to compete with the PS5? And you could say, well, graphics don't make a game. Sure, they don't. And people who love Nintendo and they're enjoying their console. But as far as competition goes, I mean, the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5 are fundamentally completely different ecosystems, right? They're not going to be able to directly compete with each other. Now, Nintendo can decide in the future to kind of like try to compete graphically, maybe in the 10th generation or something, but as of right now, Sony is going to have a monopoly over console gaming, because as far as the Xbox Series X is concerned, because people are going to be like, well, why don't you just buy an Xbox Series X? The whole point is to make gaming more accessible. The problem is that the Xbox Series X gives you no reason to get a console over a gaming PC, because it's essentially the same exact thing. So, okay, let's say that the new Xbox Series X, because it's very powerful, it's supposed to be the most powerful console, and sure, they're going to release a cheaper version that's like $400, but, they have all these games. First of all, shitty indie games are not going to sell a console. I mean, let's just be real. Microsoft buying all these third-party studios, okay, that's great. What are they? They acquired 20 new studios in the past couple of years, while they terminated 18 of them. So that's kind of counterintuitive, right? That you close down all these studios and then open up new ones. Okay, I mean, Microsoft's gaming division is just a total mess, but realistically, the PlayStation 5, I mean, the Xbox Series X, or whatever you want to call it, has no chance in competing with Sony, and they're putting themselves to try to cut in to the PC market. They're kind of self-cannibalizing their console market, making their console division less attractive and more confusing in the long run, because the PlayStation 5 is going to be like, hey, you get a PS5 for the next 5-6 years, you're good, and everyone's on a level playing field. But with the Xbox Series X, it's like, oh yeah, no, you can get like a cheaper version of the console, but then you can also get the more expensive one. Then you can get the even more expensive one, and it's just like, where do you draw the line? You know what I'm saying? How is that fair to have different versions of different consoles and essentially getting rid of gaming generations? If you have so many different consoles to program for, I mean, console developers are going to get pissed off. So people are just going to flock over to Sony because you at least know what you're getting into, instead of having to develop for essentially 3 separate consoles, maybe 4 if you include the Xbox One X. Then it's like, yeah, third-party support's not going to be there quite as much. And also, if they're cutting into PC, this is another thing that people aren't talking about. You have all these different companies with their separate storefronts. So you have Origin. I mean, Origin's kind of working with Steam, so we're going to kind of get rid of them. But you have Epic Game Store, you have Steam, you have all these different platforms that release games exclusively on that platform, especially lately with the Epic Game Store. Epic Games is not going to like the fact, especially if they try to integrate this into one, they're not going to like the fact that Microsoft is essentially merging these 2 platforms, PC and console, into one, and then you're going to have a situation where the Xbox Store on the PC is the exact same as that on the console, Epic Games is going to be like, wait a minute. Okay, we have no problem having these games on console, but the PC store on Xbox, it can't be there. So Microsoft also has to tread lightly trying to merge PC and console into one, because you do have a lot of companies that have a vested interest in having a market share in the PC market with their own game launcher, but no interest in making their own console, for example, but they do want to have their own storefront on PC. So what is Microsoft going to do in that case? Allow games to be playable on Xbox, but not on PC? That's not going to work. And then Game Pass Ultimate, is it going to stay Ultimate, or is it going to be merged into one? Are they going to still keep it separate while also having no reason for you to get a console over a PC? How is that going to work? It's not. That's the thing. It's not going to work. And I would not be surprised if this next generation of consoles is the last time that Microsoft is directly involved in console manufacturing, if they don't just focus completely on their services. So, okay, you got Xbox Game Pass, okay, you got xCloud, you got all these different services, but as far as their actual hardware is concerned, they might actually scale that back, because it doesn't seem like this experiment's going to work. It's going to fail, and people are going to suffer as a consequence, because the console market is going to be monopolized by Sony as a result of Microsoft refusing to compete. So what's going to happen is that Sony's going to make a lot of people their little bitch, and there's going to be no alternative until another company hopefully makes a new console, like a dedicated console, not whatever Microsoft's doing here. And I know this video is a lot, so the TLDW version of everything I said essentially is that the Xbox Series X line of consoles will completely fail, and they'll also have a hard time getting into the PC market in some cases, because, well, I mean, think about it. They're putting games on Steam. People do not want to use the Microsoft Store. So what are they going to do in that case? And essentially, Sony's going to have a monopoly over the console market. And I don't know. I mean, as a PC gamer, am I going to suffer so much? Maybe not, because I already have an Xbox Series X. But for people who don't really have the option of getting into PC, things are going to start getting real bad. Imagine what the PlayStation 3 would have been like if you didn't have Microsoft to compete with them and force them to change and actually make a good console in the long run, because the PS3 when it came out sucked ass. Or imagine if Sony wasn't there with the PS4 when Microsoft was pulling all their DRM shenanigans. Having no competition is just terrible. It's terrible for all of us in the long run, really. And the way things are going, Sony is going to dominate the console market with no real reason to get an Xbox Series X over a PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 is obviously going to have higher quality exclusives. Microsoft's not even going to have real exclusives. And just think, even if they somehow come up with high quality games and the games are really good and comparable to that of the PlayStation 5, because, to be fair, we still don't know exactly which games are coming and which games aren't coming. That's a fair point to make. But just think about all the PC gamers who own PlayStation 4s because there were games that they can only buy on that platform that they could not buy on PC. On the Xbox, there's no reason to own both an Xbox and a PC. Already, Sony has a significant advantage because it's the only platform to play certain games like The Last of Us and others. So whichever angle you want to look at it from, either way, any way you slice it, Sony is going to dominate the next generation, and Microsoft is in serious trouble.